What's going on YouTube? My name's Abe and I'm with LTH, and in this video we're going to cover how to terminate your own RJ45 Ethernet cables if you want to do this yourself, save a little bit of money, or learn a new skill. So let's go over to the table and I'll show you how to terminate some Ethernet cables right now. Okay guys, so now we're at my desk, but I just want to say that all these parts can be found on Amazon, linked down below, roughly for $20 to $30. So if you want to save some money by terminating your own cables, this is a great way to do it by buying your Ethernet cabling in bulk footage, and then getting a whole bunch of these RJ45 termination cables, as well as some tools here, which we're going to go over right now. So the first thing I want to show you guys is this is a very, very basic cable tester, but we can see we have RJ45, which is usually for like Ethernet, RJ11, which is like usually for like phones, and then this is just the model LM468. But with this, it just sees if our cables are paired together, our wire pairs, right? Our colored pairs, or if they're opposite, depending if we're trying to do a straight through or a rollover cable or whatever else. I will also put on the screen right now. We are going to use the standard T568B, and that's kind of the standard that everyone uses now. You might find some old T56A standards, but very uncommon. So what this does is we plug in to our RJ45 ports on this device, and then we just turn it on, and we can see that the cables are lighting up in the same order because this is a straight through cable, and that's what we want. So in modern technology, you're pretty much going to use straight through cables 100% of the time, and this is usually used to connect two Ethernet connected devices together, or like often within patch panels, right? In the old days when we had hubs or dumb devices, you would usually have to do like rollover cables and whatever, because it would send signal out one end and it would expect it on the other end down a different row, because there's 1 through 8 cables. But now computers are smart enough that even if it's not the correct way, it is able to digitally flip your pairs, your four sets of 2 cables. So I hope that kind of makes sense, but everyone just pretty much makes these straight through Ethernet cables at this point. And so within our Ethernet cables, it's going to probably be a little bit hard to see on camera, but for a B standard, we have white with an orange stripe, then we have orange, and then we have white with a green stripe, a solid blue, white with a striped blue, green, white with a brown stripe, and then solid brown. And the far left one will be number 1, cable 1, and then working from left to right, the far right brown one will be our 8th cable. And so whenever you're terminating these, you always want to ensure you're terminating with the clip faced away from you. So when we slide our cables in, they will be pushed in this direction with the clip faced away from us. So we always ensure white with an orange stripe is on the left and the solid brown is on the far right. So what do I have on my desk for the rest of our setup? Well, we have a simple finger cable stripper. And so we have a couple different sizes on this one for common cable types that you may use. This is also a nice like little end stripper. It can also sometimes be used as a punch down tool for some old telecommunication systems that are not very popular anymore, but this is a very handy tool to have. Always a pocket knife. If you need to use a pocket knife, this would be available to you. But in the industry, most people use this, which is made by Fluke or a similar brand, but it is a pair of snips. And then these snips usually will have a serrated style edge with these 2 little cutouts for straightening wires, and then a simple pair of scissors. And this is pretty much what most people are going to use. So this one isn't Fluke, this one is Klein, but also a very common brand. And then not really relevant to RJ45, but you may ask in the comments, this is a Klein tool blade essentially for like super thick coax or just bigger strand cable. You may need to de-sheath the cable with a knife because your scissors just won't work. And then our RJ45 piece, which we're going to use to terminate the other side once we snip it off. And then lastly, our crimper. So your RJ45 piece will go into the crimper and you will push it all the way through, just like so, and it will seat all the way in. So it's kind of all the way there on the back, and then you'll crimp down. And so when you crimp down, there is this little plastic thing back here, as well as these metal tongs will push up into the cable in that empty space right there, keeping it from pulling out. And then you could also put a boot on it like these have, but for the sake of this video, we're not gonna bother sliding a boot on there, but this would go on the cable first before you terminate on your RJ45, or it will not fit, just like this. So if this wasn't already on here, you wouldn't be able to slide it up and over your RJ45 connector like so. So make sure that slides on first if you're gonna do that. So in our case, we're just gonna go ahead and snip this cable back just right here. Just like that. And so now we can see that we have a cable, but we gotta get those 4 pair strands out of here. And so what you can use is a tool like this, and we're gonna use the biggest settings, and don't, cut off a little bit more than you probably need to fit in the RJ45. So one, you can strip them, practice, have extra space, and straighten them out. If they're too short, it's hard to straighten them. So I'm just gonna give myself some extra space, and then I'm just going to twirl around this about 1 to 2 times, take that off, and we can see our cables come out like that, out of the sheathing. And so this is what I'm talking about with our pairs. And so you can just pull your pairs down to their sides out of the way, just like this. And then this protective, cross interference reducing middle segment can then be snipped down at the bottom as close as you can get it without cutting any of your pairs. And so that's snipped just like that. And then we're gonna untwist these. And now remember, we wanna get this RJ connector as close to the end as possible, because when they're straightened out, we get more interference with our cable communication than if they are twisted. Twisting helps the signal produce or go over the cable more efficiently with less electromagnetic interference than if they were all just straight. So it's just a good thing to know. And so what I'm gonna do is just untwist these just like so. And then I'm just gonna okay, so now that these are all undone, what some people may do is take their snips and either on the smooth or the serrated side, on the case of these are both a serrated side, people may put their thumb over the top and then take their cables and just pull just like that. And we can actually see how straight those got than some of these other ones that you can see are still wanting to twist. So sometimes you'll just take them, put them into those grooves, just like so, put your thumb over it, and just help straighten those cables out so you can work with them a little bit better. And we can see how straight those are compared to the rest. And so I'm just gonna do that to all my pairs of cables to help make these a little bit easier to work with. Okay, so now that those are a little bit straighter, the next thing we're gonna wanna do is put these in the pattern of the T568B. And so on here, we're gonna go with I'm fighting all the length of my cable here. Let's do this, I'm not fighting it so much. Okay, so what we're gonna do is start with white on orange. And so these are gonna be just like this. And then we're gonna do white striped on green, put that right in there next. And then we're going to do a solid blue. So our solid blue will have to come up over the top, or you could go underneath depending on how you want these to be set up. So in my case, I'm actually gonna go underneath, And then we're just gonna keep playing with these wires, right? This takes a little bit of practice or a little bit of time. There's not honestly a great science to this. So I'll just try to pinch those and get them to kind of sit straight and not overlap with each other. And then from that, we're going to do our blue or white with a blue stripe, just like that. Again, you may have to kind of do some of this to get that copper inside these lines to play nice with you. And then from that, we're going to do our solid green. Put our solid green in there. And then we're gonna do our white with brown, with a brown stripe. And then lastly, our solid brown, just like this. So what you can try to do is, make these cables nice and flat, kind of like a ribbon cable, and get them as straight as possible. And then, again, just straighten these guys out as much as possible to get as much compliance with these cables as you possibly can. So I'm just going to do that a couple times, and these are, they're doing pretty good at sitting next to each other. And so we're just going to verify our pattern of white with an orange stripe, orange, white with a green stripe, solid blue, white with a blue stripe, solid green, white with a brown stripe, solid brown. And so the next thing we're going to want to do is snip these off, but remember, we want there to be enough space on this end of the cable that when we slide it in the sheathing, we're not butting up against this outer sheathing, right? So there's enough room for this Ethernet cable to sit in there, but not too much out here where we have a lot of extra, right? So that also takes some practice, so it might not be perfect in this video, but what I'm gonna do is roughly around right here is just snip these cables off, and we have a pretty good layout, just like this. And we want to make sure they're not too far apart or they won't slide into their little grooves, okay? And so our cables look to all be straight and staying in place. And so you're going to take your Ethernet jack and slide it over the bottom and hopefully give yourself enough slack that these go in first try, just like that. And there's some little grooves in here, some little canals that'll line your cabling up. And so I've actually pushed these to the very end, and we can see that right here, that they're all butt up against the end. You wanna make sure that all of them are butt up against the end, because if they're not, then you might not get these gold stamp down pieces right there to push into the cable. If the cable's too far back, you're not gonna get a connection with those gold connectors, which is what actually, connects to the computer. So make sure that all your wires are pushed up all the way, and we can actually see that our whitish orange one looks like it could come up just a little bit. So, sometimes you can push on one side or the other, or try to get your fingers in there, or pinch down on the cable, and so they're nice and stiff, and just push them all the way up in there as best as you can. And yep, it looks like we got those two right there to the end. So now it's sitting up further than it was before. So really make sure that you check that before you end up crimping this down. And then one more time, check your cabling colors to make sure that they're the same as the T568B standard, because sometimes they'll flip around in here when you're pushing them into those canals. So we have our white on orange, yep. Our solid orange, yep. Our white with a green stripe, correct. A solid blue, a white with a blue stripe, great. A solid green, a white with a brown stripe, and then a solid brown. And that is the correct pattern. And so now what you're gonna do is just take this, like I showed earlier, and make sure you slide it into your crimper. Also, if you don't know which way it's supposed to slide into the crimper, we can actually see on the back of this one, there are those little push down teeth right there that will push down on those gold connectors right there. So that tells you which way easily that this needs to slide in. And so then when it's in, we can start to see those teeth come in from the bottom, and they're gonna push those gold prongs up and into our wires, just like that. And so yep, there you go. You could do it a couple times if you'd like. And then once that's been done, you may need to push on this side with your thumb to pull this out. And then we'll just check our connectors. And so now we can see that that prong has been pushed up into our wires. And we hope that all of these have a good connection. Sometimes they don't. You might have to go through a trial and error. We can actually see some of our wires pushed back just a little bit. So it's good to keep that pressure on that cable as you're pushing down. And then what we can do is we can test this and hope that it works. If it doesn't, you're gonna have to snip it off and do this whole process all over again. And that can be the frustration for some people that are starting to do this, or if you don't do this very often, it can be quite frustrating. Okay guys, and just like that, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the pairs match. So this is working. I actually just had to mess with my crimper. I guess this one's getting a little bit loose, so those crimping teeth weren't pushing down on the gold prongs correctly, so I'll probably have to replace that. But that is how you terminate your own RJ45 cable. So I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you stay around for more videos and more home lab content. My name is Abe, signing off with another video.